Death is the only fear that can take me there.
Okay, so that removes the fear of death from us. If we see death, physical death, as a gateway to our spiritual destiny, and that we keep hoping for that destiny that Paul speaks about in verse 8, then we no longer fear physical death. Because the next question there, do you think there can be other things more revolutionizing for your life than a periodic pondering on your own death? Oh, I'm about to die. I think Corona is finishing us. Hunger is going to kill us. The war is coming. Nuclear bombs, and many other things. Diseases, heart attacks, diabetes, all kinds of things that bring immediate fear and grip us. Don't you think that if we thought beyond them, our lives would be more revolutionized than focusing on them and paying a lot of money, flying people around, afraid of cancer? Not that we shouldn't try, but don't you think that sometimes our try clearly shows that we have no hope for other life than this? Is it, I'm asking, are there other things that can revolutionize our lives when we think about, with all the money, with all the might, with all the capacity, doesn't that teach us that there's more we need to think about that revolutionizes our lives than just think about, oh, death has come, we're finished, this is the end, people are dying, this, the plague has come. Don't you think so? Let's hear.
Our relationship.
Done the other thing. I hadn't finished this. So like Paul would have said, my departure has come, but I hadn't finished the race. Mm-hmm. And I was already improving in the fight. Mm-hmm. I was still struggling to keep the faith. You see that?
Yeah, I think, and from Paul's perspective, what I think is that death is unstoppable in the first place, and it comes at the time when it has to come. Like there is no, it should have come later or sooner, according to God's timing. So if we as Christians now thought of that time that is coming inevitably, not knowing when, is that I think we are cautioned to live better. Because as Paul, in his words and how he's ending, he even has an anticipation of a better life after death. So when we think of the present fear of what should have been done or what we haven't done, I think those are the concerns that can drive away from what the kind of lifestyle that would be even more better after death. Yeah. So to think of death as I can say,
as a robber.
As a robber, and also I think you have always used this word, like you live better when you live at the mouth of the grave. I don't know if these are the exact words, but yeah, to live at any time I'm dying, but when I die, where I go is what matters. The destiny is what matters. So
what about the accomplishments? Because what Paul...
I also think that Paul's confidence comes from the fact that he has lived his life well. Like he says, I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. And because he has lived his life in that way, now he is confident that even as life comes to the end, he has something to show for his life.
No unfinished work.
Yes. He's accomplished what God called him to do. Like when he told him that you will suffer for me and you will witness to the Gentiles and to the kings. So he has fought a good fight, and there comes his confidence, and that's his assurance. But also where your treasure is, that's where your heart is. So So I think for me, the question is, where is my treasure? Is it in the things of God or in the things of the world?
So pondering your own death looks like it's not just where you're going, but how you are rehearsing the eternal life. So I can say that for Paul, it wasn't so much how long he should live, it was so much how he should live whatever long he had been given. So things finished, things completed, allowed his departure to be well received. If he was still running his race, he would have prayed to live on. But he said, I have finished the race. So it simply means that our service to God as a rehearsal is necessary for our preparedness for departure. The people who go kicking and refusing to die but still die have an unfinished business. Oh, I left this incomplete. Oh, I left this unfinished. Oh, I was still doing that. Now I needed to do this. Now I needed to do that. Those ones go unwillingly. They go kicking, but they still go. What Paul pondered upon that gave him the calmness to depart was he assessed his life. The race that was given to me, I have run all of it. The fight that was given to me, I have fought it nicely. He calls it a good fight. The faith, the teaching entrusted to me, to God, I have kept it. And that's what really, that's the pondering that helped him to say, now I can go. So this...
I was just thinking about a person like Hezekiah, King Hezekiah, when the man of God came and told him to put his house in order because he was going to die. He cried and said, oh no, give me some more days. He prayed actually. And then the Lord
added 15 years.
Added 15 years. So a man like Hezekiah, I think, he hadn't completed the race.
Yes, he was kicking as he went, and then God had mercy on him. He needed to put a few things in order. But God usually does not bargain with people, otherwise we would be wanting to leave. I think that it's key at this moment to ask this key question. If you ever pray to God for a long life, and you hear God asking you why you want to live long, you must have an answer. Why? There is the why that Paul lived for, and he says the reason for his purpose is done. His going is inevitable, is irreversible, but he has no regrets. To go without regrets is what is key. At 33 years, Jesus said, it is finished, as he died. Sometimes people in the 90s die and we say, what an untimely death. It's a big difference. Big difference that somebody dies in the 80s and you say, untimely death. When would it be timely? It is timely because of a life well lived. If you are told to number your days, even 20 years are enough, even 30 years are enough, even 40 is enough. But if you do not rehearse life well, even 100 is not enough, and 200 is still small, because you maintain unfinished business. Let's go to verse 7. Verse 7, he really looks at the past when he had been faithful, and he appraises his own life. In his own assessment, he looks at how he has labored, and he says, I have fought the good fight, I have kept the race, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Now Paul's triumphant confidence is evident in this form of verbs, which indicate completed action with continuing results. Paul saw his life as complete, having been able to accomplish through the Lord's power all that God called him to do. So we're asking questions. In what ways would these action verbs relate to the fact that Paul often pictured himself first as a soldier, second as an athlete, thirdly as a guardian? In what ways? Just connect. Here we just need to connect words, because he's already used these metaphors before. So we need to connect verbs. So in what ways would the action verbs picture Paul as a soldier? Which portion of the verse goes for a soldier? I fought a good fight. That's really good. And there are other scriptures where Paul keeps showing that we are at war. What action verb clearly pictures Paul in the metaphor of an athlete?
I have finished the race.
Yes, he was running, and he's come to the finishing line. And there are a number of scriptures that Paul still uses as in running the race. One of the things about the race is timed. You don't run as though there is no end. First, there is a finishing line, and there is a time in which you either have to compete, or there are other competitors that mean you have to get there fast. So the race is timed, and I can think of Ephesians 5:16, where we clearly see that there is urgency, making the most of every opportunity. And Paul gives the reason for the days are evil. That's the urgency. Run fast. Get to the finishing line as soon as yesterday, because the days are evil. So races are timed. There are races where you won't walk. You walk fast, or there are races where you run, and you run until the end. And so Paul sees himself as an athlete. And there is the verb that he uses there as a guardian. Which one is that?
Can I also first read Acts 20, verse 24? However, I consider my life worth nothing to me. My only aim is to finish the race and complete the task the Lord Jesus has given me. The task testifying to the good news of God's grace.
Right. So he did it like there's no more time to do that. Today is the opportunity. And for that race, he considered his life as less important task of proclaiming the gospel. And so he can look back and say, I've run the race. I never wasted any time, any resource, any opportunity, any friendship or network or interaction. He preached the gospel in prisons when he was arrested. When he was released, he preached the gospel among the free. He preached the gospel among Gentiles and Jews. He preached the gospel in the village and towns. He preached the gospel in synagogues. He reasoned with Stoics. He really ran the race. That's very, very key. Now there's that other verb that clearly shows Paul as a guardian, which is, I have kept the faith. Keeping faith here is not like I have kept hopeful or wishful or trustful or depending. It is meaning I have kept the content of the teaching that makes me Christian. I've kept